Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Here we are again with another tutorial on how to perform ascending urethrogram. So basically it's the best technique to image a male patient urethra and is indicated for strictures, fistula, trauma and urethral obstruction. The male urethra is approximately 18 to 20 cm long, extending from the bladder to the external meatus. It consists of the anterior and posterior parts, each of which is then subdivided further. The anterior part comprises the penile and bulbous urethra. The penile urethra is the longest portion and is encased by the corpus spongiosum. It terminates the glans penis, where it forms the fossa navicularis. The bulbous urethra traverses the root of the penis and extends from penoscrotal junction and the urogenital diaphragm. The posterior part comprises the membranous and prostatic parts. The membranous urethra runs through the urogenital diaphragm. It's the shortest and narrowest part of the urethra and is surrounded by sphincters. The prostate part is surrounded by the prostate and is the widest part of the urethra. So here we have two images of urethrogram, which you can clearly see the different anatomical parts of the urethra. On the left image you can note the membranous part, which is the narrowest portion of the urethra. Alright, so let's see what items do we need for an ascending urethrogram examination. First and foremost, we need 50 ml iodine contrast media. Here I'm using Omnipack 300. And of course, we need a catheter to inject our contrast media into the urethra. Here I'm using a 12 French two-way catheter. You can use 8, 10 and 12 French for adult patients, and for children and infants, use smaller catheters like 6, 4 or even a feeding tube will do the work. And also it's not necessarily to be two-way because we are not using the balloon, so a one-way catheter also will do the job. And here I have a 50 ml catheter tip syringe, so I can connect it directly to my catheter. For sure, we have to do the examination under a sterile condition. So here I'm using betadine and surgical spirit to clean the area. Contrast media is a very hard and dense liquid, so you need to dilute it with normal saline. It brings more patient comfort and also easier to inject. I mix each portion of contrast media with 2 portions of normal saline. Okay, here's my stuff, and as I'm not using a real patient, I made this with a bottle and a tube to illustrate the male urethra. Using a sterile dish, I start to prepare my contrast media. Add 50 ml contrast and dilute it with 100 ml normal saline. Fill the tip catheter syringe and remove the air bubbles. Connect the syringe into the catheter and start doing injection to get the air out of the catheter. Otherwise, you will see the air bubbles in the image. Cover underneath the patient by putting 2 layers of sheet and start the cleaning process. After you finish the cleaning, remove the top layer of sheet. Put another sterile dish in front of the penis and lubricant the catheter. Gently insert the tip of catheter into the urethra. As you can see, I only insert the tip of the catheter about 1 cm into the urethra. If you go deep inside, you may physically open the possible strictures and narrowing, and for sure you will miss them in the image. Ideally, you need to visualize the whole length of urethra, from the glans penis until the contrast reaching to the bladder. It is very important to hold the glans penis and the catheter with one of your hands to avoid any contrast extravasation while you're doing the injection. You can simply do this by pinching the glans penis by your 2 middle fingers. At the same time, start injection with your other hand. While injecting the contrast, do the fluoroscopy and take the X-ray when it's appropriate. Okay, so usually we do need 3 images for an ascending urethrogram study. First, one Scott image before doing the injection. Then an AP view while you can see the whole length of the urethra. However, the bulbous part is curved and you cannot clearly see it in the AP view. So we do need an oblique view, no matter left or right. I suggest you to turn the patient toward yourself and take another X-ray. As you may notice from the image, you need to pull the penis so you can clearly see the whole length of the urethra. Okay, so let's see some examples. As you can see here, I only insert the tip of the catheter into the urethra. And at the same time that I do the injection, I pinch the glans penis with my fingers to avoid any contrast extravasation. Here is another case. As you can notice in the membranous part, the urethra is getting so narrow. However, this patient is old and the prostate got big, and so it put pressure on the urethra and it caused a stricture in that area. Another case, patient suffering from poor urine flow. You can notice the strictures here. And unfortunately, I injected some air bubbles into the urethra. You can notice here. You can see the narrowing in the membranous parts. The bladder neck, you can see that is wider than usual. That may be caused by inflammation. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you learned something from this tutorial. Please do subscribe my channel to support me and check out my other radiology videos from the playlist in the channel. Thanks again. Have a good day.